Hi, I'm Tia Sos, and this is another episode of Daily Tea. Um, when the host in tea ceremony sets out the utensils and then cleans them again in front of his guests, he does that intentionally to show that he's providing the most care he can give for their benefit. So, usually the utensils are already cleansed in the preparation room, which is where I'm sitting right now. And when the host brings the utensils in, they're already clean. But still in front of his guests, he cleans those utensils yet again, just to show that he's providing, that he's giving the best he can give, that he's providing the utensils that are as clean as possible. And he does that through, in front of the guest, cleaning, cleansing, wiping, inspecting all of the utensils he's going to use before he will actually start making the tea. And this is why I think that tea ceremony, which is to my idea a very bad translation, I would prefer to call it the rite of tea, because it is more of a ritual, and a ritual of hospitality. Not a ritual that would be conducted at, for example, a ceremony in honoring of the gods or in honoring of a happy occasion or something. It is conducted for the guests and solely for the guests. It is hospitality. And in the past, tea ceremony was conducted as a means to provide a meal, and having tea after the meal was the normal procession. So you would have an 11-coursed Japanese style meal with all different small plates of different types of food, and then you would have thick tea, and then in the end you would have thin tea. And it is this entire process that actually constitutes what tea ceremony is. And during that entire process, the host gives constant care for his guests. And he does that not through so much verbal communication. He does that through showing that he is caring for them. He shows that through preparing what is presented in the room before the guests go in. He does that through keeping his garden in a good state, and through wetting the stones and the bushes and the flowers in his garden in order to give a fresh and cleansed image to the garden before the guests pass through it. He puts flowers on display that have relation to the season. He puts up a scroll that may or may not call forth an emotion with his guests, or call forth a certain image. And all these things are done deliberately, and all these things constitute what communication in tea ceremony is. There is a lot of communication going on in tea ceremony, although not verbally, because speaking is only done at certain times, certain given points that are quite set. So a lot is done in silence, and this also again creates a mood, a feeling within the state of mind of the guests. And everything is controlled and deliberately done so by the host in order to make his guests feel comfortable or put them in a certain mood. So if you learn a lot about tea ceremony, you get to learn a lot about how to work with people, how to engage with people, how to create good bonds with people, and also how hospitality works. A lot of, for example, bartenders or restaurant owners could learn a lot from tea ceremony just by looking at how the host cares for his guests and what the guests actually need, or what the guests might actually find delightful. So thank you for today's episode, and I'll be looking forward to sharing more ideas and more information about tea ceremony and tea on our next episodes. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.